So, this is about plutocracy. What it is, and how it works. First of all, let's define plutocracy. What exactly is it? Well, technically, it's a rule by the rich or political power held by the wealthy. Basically, we take this little guy, who's just your average person, and then we take this big guy, who's your rich dude, you know, your fat cat with all the money bags, you know, dollar signs in his eyes. The average person has less political power than the rich person who has more money and more political power. Moving on. Okay, so here's your average person. For the sake of the argument, we'll call them poor, because in relation to the rich, they are poor. Then we have this guy. They pretty much look the same, right? Just your average people, just your average American citizens, except the poor guy doesn't have any money. Alright? Not as much money as this millionaire over here, who gets his money from profitable industries. Maybe he owns a company. Maybe he owns a store. Maybe he does other stuff on the side. Sells stuff on eBay, I don't know. But he has all that money that can be used. So the average person, in order to be able to change the things that they don't like about government, uses their power to vote. The rich guy, in addition to being able to vote like every other normal American citizen, can also use his money to influence local industry and local leaders into passing legislation that is more favorable for them. Also, rich people can take their money and put it into advertising, and through the power of advertising to be able to change the average American citizen's perception of certain social issues, which are most likely relevant to the rich person. After all, they're paying for it, right? They can sway people's attitudes to pass favorable legislation without having to bribe actual legislatures. Also, with their money, they can use lobbyists to go to big national, federal government and try to persuade them to pass favorable legislation. Our government plays several important roles for us, obviously. They can pass legislation, they can appoint jobs and positions to people, which can also benefit the rich if they're trying to get jobs for their friends, things for their families, stuff like that. And it benefits the rich by allowing their industries to grow, gaining them higher profits, by having less regulation, allowing them to take shortcuts. They could also try to get lower taxes for themselves, which in the end gives them more money. Basically, in this system, the rich get richer while the poor get poorer. So if you're listening to me and you're thinking, okay, well, I'm just an average citizen. What could I possibly do about all of this? What role do I play here? What can we do to change this? Well, it's simple. First off, you can stay informed. All you have to do is just pay attention. Sounds easy, right? That means that you have to pay attention to local, national, and sometimes international news to pay attention to what exactly these big companies are doing. Another thing you can do is inform others, spread the word, make sure that other citizens know what's going on. Third, you can get out and vote. This is absolutely crucial to our system, because if we don't get out and vote, we basically don't have a say in what goes on in our own country. Last but not least, you can go out and write letters or send a phone call to your local representatives. Remember, they work for you. Make sure they know what you want. We haven't reached the point yet where plutocracy completely rules our country, but we're rapidly getting there. If you turn on the news, you'll see that corporations are slowly creeping up and taking over our everyday lives, little by little, every single day.